My name is Jim Kestner. I live in Beloit, Ohio. Retired school teacher, taught 30 years at West Branch Schools. Had shortness of breath, very tired. And that evening I went to bed, and at this point in time I don't remember what happened, but I guess I fell out of bed, and just having back surgery, my wife was afraid to move me, so she called the Sebring EMTs. They came and wanted to know if they just wanted, my wife wanted her to just have them put me back in bed or to transport me here to the hospital. And she said, well, let's transport him to the hospital. We loaded up in the ambulance, and before I reached the end of the driveway, I coded on them. So they shot me up here real quick, and I coded one more time here. They're on the way to Alliance, and I was in the emergency room here for, I guess, an hour or so until they got me stabilized. They took me over to Altman, and on the way to Altman, I coded 2 more times on them on the way to Altman, and what had happened was a blood clot had formed in my leg, and it passed through my heart and blocked my coronary artery. And at Altman, they put a stent in, and my surgeon joked that, said they weren't ready for me on the other side because I coded on them 10 times on the operating table. And immediately after that, because of all the problems, they put me in hypothermia, put me in a coma, hypothermia for 36 hours, and then I guess after that they warm you up over a period of I don't know how many hours, but I spent the next 40 days in Altman, of which I only have memory of 38, and they tell me I'm very lucky that I don't have memory of everything I've been through, because I had trach in and tubes everywhere, and I guess I was a very bad patient because, and of course I didn't know, they had to tie my hands down, because every time my hands were untied I'd start pulling tubes and IVs and stuff out. I just wasn't feeling right that evening. I'm very tired, shortness of breath, and I started perspiring. And being a retired teacher, I should have known those are some of the typical symptoms, but I wasn't going to have a heart attack. I was too young for that, but unfortunately I did. My father, who was 87, had quadruple bypass 32 years ago and is still going strong from that. And I have a younger brother who has had 4 stents, and then at the same time I was in the hospital for this, he had to go in and have bypass surgery. So yes, there is a family history. As far as myself, I can't tell you because I have no memory of it, but my wife said they were very helpful, very comforting, and she would not leave the hospital. I get a little emotional about this, but that whole time, she'd only went home twice. So, and the doctors kept telling her, go home, get some rest, he won't remember this. And she kept saying, but I will. Well, now I feel very good. I just had a total knee replacement in December and am rehabbing from that, and my goal is to be out on the golf course in Myrtle Beach the end of March. I watch what I eat, especially my wife watches like a hawk. I don't know that we have a salt shaker in our home anymore. And I am very sick of fish and chicken and turkey, but that's one of those things you have to live with. I treat myself about once a month to a steak, but don't eat much red meat anymore. And fried food, 0. You can never really take for granted your health. You know, you think you're invincible. Unfortunately, I still, like I was when I was a teenager, I'm invincible. But unfortunately, you learn to accept it. There are some limitations and some life changes you have to make. They should watch what they eat. They should try to exercise regularly. It's been over 2 years now, and I still come here to Cardiac 3 days a week to get my 45-minute workout in, because I feel it's very important. And they need to exercise, they need to reduce the stress in their life, watch their diet. I see these young people wolfing down burgers and fries and things like that, and I think it's going to catch up to you. So they need to watch what they're putting into themselves. Well, if you are unfortunate enough to have problems like I've experienced, I would strongly recommend the cardiac rehab here at the hospital. They do a very good job. Casey and Kelly watch over you like hawks, and they're always giving you advice and try to do what's best for you. But you need to take better care of yourself. Everyone does.